Good morning. My name is Lee, and I'm the CEO of Nurture Growth Biofertilizer. Thank you very much for joining us this morning for our webinar about how biologicals can help crops handle heat stress and drought. We received a lot of rain in the last few days, so it's actually the opposite effect. However, according to the climatologist, this year is expected to be a hotter year, and we're seeing evidence of that with the wild fires in Canada, in the US, and then also in Europe. And then in Europe, there's extreme heat alert. So we're seeing all this crazy weather that is happening, and we thought that we'd bring you this presentation about how biologicals could help plants cope with drought and stress. So I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Ankita, who's going to share more about this. I'm also very interested in this. I've read the blog, and I definitely encourage you to read it as well when you have some time after this webinar. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you so much, Lee, and welcome you all in this webinar series. Let me briefly introduce myself. I am Dr. Ankita Garkoti, working as Senior Science Officer at Nurture Growth Biofertilizer. I am PhD in plant pathology, and I have over 10 years of experience in agriculture research and extension. I also worked in organic farming department under Ministry of Agriculture in India, where my work was focused on biofertilizers, organic fertilizers, and other biologicals. So today I'm here to talk about the topic, how biologicals help crops handle heat, drought, and other stress conditions. In today's presentation, we are going to talk about the following points as we'll understand what is stress in plant and heat and drought affect, how heat and drought affect plants and role of biological in these stress conditions and how biologicals improve stress tolerance in plant. We'll talk about the role of biologicals in sustainable agriculture and this presentation will be followed by question and answer. If you have any queries, you can drop your message in the chat box or you can ask any questions related to this presentation. And before starting the presentation, I would like to let you know that this is not a sales pitch. This is educational purpose of this webinar because we are here to sharing our knowledge with all of you and let's learn with each other. So let's start today's presentation, starting with the introduction. As we all know that today agriculture is facing a major challenge of producing enough food while coping with climate change and rising temperature and drought condition are reducing crop growth and yield and making food production more difficult. Although traditional methods like irrigation or use of different fertilizers have helped, but they are not always sustainable or effective under changing climate conditions. So in this regard, biological solutions such as use of biofertilizers or plant growth promoting microorganisms play an important role by increasing plant capacity to tolerate stress and supporting sustainable agriculture. So biofertilizers or these biologicals help the plant to improve nutrient uptake. They strengthen the stress tolerance in plant and maintain productivity under different adverse environmental conditions. So first, let's understand the stress in plant. So in the normal physiological condition, a plant grows normally by absorbing sunlight. Plant use water and carbon dioxide and absorb the sunlight, use these things. And this process is known as photosynthesis, in which plant make oxygen and make their own food in the form of glucose and use this glucose or carbohydrate in the growth and development of their growth and development. So this is the normal photosynthetic process or normal physiological process in plant. But sometimes plant constantly face environmental challenges like heat stress, drought, salinity, or nutrient deficiency. And these type of situation, they cause stress in plant. Out of those all stress different type of stresses, heat and drought are most damaging and often occur together. So when there are these stresses, it affects the normal growth of plant, because if they are uh, the stress is there, so plant sometimes closes their stomata to maintain the to save the water, and if the stomata is closed, then it will affect the normal photosynthesis or transpiration process of the plant. So this way, the stress situation affect the normal physiological growth of plant. So because of these stress conditions, the plant reduced its growth. There is low crop yield, and the crop quality of the crop also decrease. So overall, the profit of the farmers, they are not able to achieve the overall profit. So let's understand what happens inside the plant. So in the normal process, as we discussed, we all know that what is the process of photosynthesis, in which the plant absorbs carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and water. They make their own food. So these stomata, when they are open, there is good transpiration rate, and there is exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen, and there is increased net photosynthetic rate, and there is good plant growth. As we can see the picture in the left side, when the stomata is open, the carbon dioxide is going inside the plant, and where the plant is utilizing carbon dioxide and giving us oxygen, there is better excess of water and nutrients, and the plant, if there is adequate soil moisture, there are more nutrients which are available for plant, and plant can use those nutrients for their growth and development. However, in drought condition, there is limited access to water and nutrients to plant. And in this type of situation, plants closes their stomata, which affect the transpiration process, which affect the photosynthesis process, and there is decreased net photosynthetic rate and plant growth. So because of the less photosynthetic rate, it affects the normal growth of plant. Uh, in As a result, the plant gets burned in sunlight due to less output of water vapor, because it is affecting not only the process of photosynthesis, but also the transpiration process of plant also affect, which causes burn in the plant cells. So let's understand like how heat and drought affects plants separately or when they are together, like what is the effect of growth and development in plant. So as we know, in the process of drought stress, there is soil dehydration. And as we see in the normal process, the stomata are open, the normal photosynthetic rate is normal, the transpiration rate is also normal. So the growth and development of plant is normal, and plant can utilize their food, the water in their growth and development. But when there is drought situation, there is soil dehydration, and the stomata closes to save more water. And in for saving more water, there is less transpiration. And transpiration is the process in which the plant uh, the plants may like it's kind of cooling down of the plant. Plants cool down themselves by the process of transpiration. But if the stomata is closed, so plant cannot do this process, and this is affecting the normal growth of plant. Similarly, in heat stress, the plant are stomata are open to cool down the process. So when the drought and this heat stress comes together, the the stress is more, because they are affecting the normal process. The plants are not they are not able to open their stomata, they are not able to close. So it is causing the combined effect and combined stress in plant, and plant cells or plant leaves, they are completely dehydrated because of two stress are coming together, and plant is not able to cope up with this stress condition when they are together, because in drought condition, the soil is dry, plants are not able to absorb the moisture from the soil. In heat stress condition, the plants are dry. They are they are affecting by the high temperature, and the green part of the plant is also affecting. So the combined effect is more difficult for plant to survive themselves. So in this situation, there is like biological can help strengthen the plant's normal natural stress response system. They can activate the plant's defense system, and there comes the role of biologicals, where they help the plant to tolerate these type of stress condition and strengthen the plant's immune system to fight against these stress conditions. This is the slide showing the effect of drought stress on plant soil. So in harsh conditions or harsh environmental challenges, the plants will show stunted growth. There is low chlorophyll content in the plant because it affects the photosynthesis process of the plant. The premature shredding of the leaves is there. The process of photosynthesis also, this affects the process of transpiration. So the plant's leaves will be wilted and not in a good shape because they are losing all the water. This the stomata closes because plant want to save water for their growth, but it will affect the whole process of photosynthesis. So ultimately, there will be very less yield in by the plant. And in this harsh situation, these type of harsh condition, the organic matter of the soil is also less. There is reduced mineralization, so it affects the overall growth and development of plant. And also, when there is less water, the absorption of those essential nutrients is also difficult by the plant. So these adverse climatic condition also, these affect the normal process of growth and development of plant. So apart from the normal growth and development, there is also cellular damage of the cells, and increased reactive oxidation species is there. So ultimately, in harsh condition, the plant is not able to survive. So in this situation, the biologicals can help the plant to survive against those stress conditions. Now let's see plant abiotic stress response. So this climatic change is, there are the environmental stress condition. There are two types. So first is drought stress and second is heat stress. In the drought stress, there is soil moisture is very low and low atmospheric humidity, because of which the stomata closes. The reduced water uptake is there, which affect the process of photosynthesis. In heat stress condition, the high air and soil temperature is there, which affect the membrane and cells of the plant cells. It increases the reactive oxidation process, and the normal cells of the plant will be affected by this stress. And this causes the physiological imbalance in plants, which reduce the growth and development of plant, and which affect the crop yield and quality of the plant. So in severe conditions of these type of stresses, there might be 50 up to like 50% of loss can be happen because of these type of stress conditions. Changes in plant metabolism under heat stress. So here we can see the left side is heat stressed plant where there are no biologicals, no plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. But in the right side, we can see that uh, because of the presence of plant growth promoting rhizobacteria or biologicals, the plant is able to survive the heat stress, as these biologicals help in inducing systemic resistance, and they are able to uh, uptake more nutrients in stress conditions also. So these biologicals help to survive plant under different stress conditions, especially heat stress. So let's understand what are biologicals and what are the role of biologicals in this different type of stress conditions. So these biologicals are living microorganisms or natural materials which promote plant growth, nutrient uptake, stress tolerance, and overall help contribute in the overall growth and development of plant. So these biologicals, they contain beneficial microbes like this can be fungi or bacteria, which supports healthy plant growth. So unlike these fertilizers, these biologicals not only simply supply nutrients, but they also contribute to increase the water efficiency of the soil. They make more nutrients available for the growth and development of plants so that plants can absorb more and more nutrients. And they these biologicals induce the systemic resistance in plants so that plants can survive against different type of stress conditions. So because of the presence of these biologicals, they are helpful uh, in escaping the plant against these abiotic stresses, not only abiotic stresses, but also biotic stresses, and they work as a biocontrol agent and help the plant to fight against different type of biotic and abiotic stresses. So these biologicals help plant to become more stronger and more resilient under different stressful conditions. So how these biologicals help plant? Because of the presence of beneficial microbes in these biologicals, these beneficial microbes help the plant and support the soil for the growth and development of the plant because they are making the soil enrich in nutrients. Those nutrients can be absorbed by the roots of plants, and plants can utilize those nutrients in the growth and development of plant. Second is a stronger root system. So because of the presence of these microbes, they are contributing to improved root growth and branching, which gives the plant a stronger foundation. So different microbes such as mycorrhiza, they work as the extension of root, and uh, they increase the nutrient reach of roots, and plants roots are able to absorb more nutrients in the root area or beyond the root area because of the presence of these beneficial mycorrhizae. So and other microbes, they all together help the plant to make a stronger root system. Next is better water and nutrient uptake. So because of presence of these microbes, they make the essential nutrients as nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, and other micronutrients more available for plants. So they naturally increase these nutrients uptake for plants. So they are able to fix there are different microbes, for example, nitrogen fixing bacteria, phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, and potash solubilizing bacteria, and also some other uh, beneficial microbes which provide micronutrients to the plants. So they make those naturally present nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash more available for plants. They fix atmospheric nitrogen, they solubilize phosphorus and potash present in the soil and make it available for plant. Thus, they are increasing the nutrient presence of nutrients in the soil and helping the plants to absorb more nutrients. So when the plant is getting more and more nutrients, plants will be more stronger. So one and the plant healthy and strong plants will be able to cope up with adverse type of conditions. So next is improve in the stress tolerance. Since the plant is already stronger, it has more ability to fight against biotic and abiotic stresses. Also, these biologicals have the ability to produce plant hormones, and they secrete some enzymes which induce the plant's systemic resistance against those type of stress conditions so that plants can withstand different type of drought, heat, or other environmental stresses because of the presence of these biologicals. And next is better growth and higher yield. So healthy if the plant there are more and more nutrients available for the plants can absorb it. The plants have stress tolerance which is induced by these microbes. So ultimately we will be getting more better growth and yield, and will get higher yield for greater profitability. So these are the roles of biologicals that help plants in different conditions. So biologicals and their role in drought and stress conditions. So there are a number of biologicals as there are different fungi, there are different bacteria, fungi as trichoderma, arbuscular mycorrhiza are the important fungi which are important biologicals. There are other bacteria as Bacillus subtilis, Bacillus plumilis, and there are so many other bacteria which act as plant growth promoting bacteria, and they are contributing to induce the systemic resistance in plant, and the plants are able to survive against those drought and heat stresses. So these biologicals, they are helpful in enhancing the root development of plant. They are also helpful in improving the nutrient uptake of plant. These biological make the soil quality better, which increases the better water retention capacity, which is helpful in um, these type of stress conditions. So improved soil structure is also an important thing when we are talking about a healthy plant, because soil is the base of agriculture, and whatever plant we are growing, we are going to grow in the soil. So if the soil is healthy, more nutrient rich, and it has a good water retention capacity, so it is good for our plants to grow. So these because of the presence of these biologicals, they help the plant to grow well, and they activate the plant's systemic resistance so that plants can survive under different challenging environmental conditions. So now let's understand how biologicals improve stress tolerance. So these microbes, they help to mitigate the heat stress and drought stress and other type of stresses by multiple beneficial mechanisms. So first is enhanced root growth and water uptake process. The other is enhanced nutrient uptake and availability. They are also helpful in contributing to the production and regulation of plant hormones. They activate the plant's defense mechanism, and they also improve the soil health and microbial activity. So we are going to discuss all these points one by one in the coming slides. So first is enhanced root growth and water uptake. These microbes play an important role in the root growth and water uptake. For example, I was talking about mycorrhiza. So this mycorrhiza work as a root extension, and these are helpful in like um, increasing the nutrient absorption area of the roots so that plants can absorb more and more nutrients, especially phosphorus. So these mycorrhiza is able, because of the presence of these mycorrhiza, they are able to extend the root absorption zone. They are enhancing the water and nutrient acquisition, and these increase the water use efficiency of the plant and allowing the plants to absorb more and more water. So because of this process, this helps in the process of photosynthesis and help the plant to survive against different stress conditions. Also, because of this mycorrhiza and these other microorganisms, they are because of the presence of these microorganisms, the plant increase its tolerance against drought conditions, salt tolerance, and other type of abiotic stresses, as well as they are able to increase the plant tolerance against different type of harmful pathogens as well. So there are a number of fungal pathogens or bacterial pathogens. So these beneficial microorganisms, they restrict the growth of those harmful pathogens as well and save the plant from these different abiotic and biotic stresses. Now, the role of AMF, arbuscular mycorrhiza fungus against abiotic stresses. So these um, mycorrhiza fungus helps to improve the soil structure. They also secretes phytohormones, which are able to contribute towards the growth and development of plant. For example, auxin, which is a main factor of inducing or enhancing the root structure and better nutrient uptake and better growth of the plant. So because of the presence of these beneficial microbes, they produce certain phytohormones, which are helpful in um, fighting against these different abiotic stress conditions. Now, mycorrhiza is an important biological which is contribute in enhancing the stable soil structure. And a stable soil structure is very important as the soil is the base of farming. So arbuscular mycorrhiza fungi, this contributes to stable soil structure by two methods. First is the direct method by extending their hyphae. In this process, the arbuscular mycorrhiza fungi, they spread their extensive network in the soil and around the plant roots and increase the uh, growth of the roots, and by which they can absorb more and more nutrients and water from the soil. And the second is the producing iron containing protein, which is called as glomalin. So glomalin is a sticky substance that act as a biological glue for soil particles. So which is because of which uh, the soil structure improved. It increases, it is helpful in increasing the aggregation in the soil. It is also able to increase the porosity of soil and make the soil more stable for the growth and development of plant. So in this regard, mycorrhiza play an important role in making the stable soil structure, which is important for growth and development of plant, and also to fight against stress conditions. So these role of arbuscular mycorrhiza fungi in protecting plants against abiotic stresses is, as we know, there are a number of abiotic stresses like extreme temperature, salinity. There are a number of heavy metals in the soil. So, because of the presence, when the plants are under the stress condition, there is less nutrients uptake and there is reduction in plant growth and yield. But when there is colonization of arbuscular mycorrhiza fungi, they increase the nutrient uptake by host plant, and they increase the nutrient uptake and they extend the hyphae. They intake more and more nutrients and water and help the plant in the growth and yield. So this also helpful in increasing the plant growth and yield, and also increases abiotic stress tolerance in plant because of the presence of these microbes in the soil. So next one is enhanced nutrient uptake and availability. And because of the presence of these beneficial microbes, they act as different, they provide different nutrients. For example, nitrogen fixing bacteria, they fix atmospheric nitrogen and make it available for plant. There are phosphorus and potassium solubilizing bacteria, which, for example, bacillus, they are able to dissolve the phosphorus or potash in the soil and they make it available for the plants. So these beneficial microbes, there are some which produce siderophores. So siderophores are iron chelating compounds which make iron available for the plant. So because of the presence of these microorganisms, they make essential nutrients and micronutrients more available for plant, and also they work indirectly also. So this making the nutrients available for plant is a direct mechanism by which the microorganisms make different essential elements or essential nutrients available for plant, and plant root can absorb those essential nutrients directly. There is one another mechanism which we call indirect mechanism, in which these beneficial microorganisms, they make the nutrients. They what they do is they protect the plants against different type of biotic and abiotic stresses. For example, there are number of harmful bacteria or pathogens in the soil. So these biologicals, they protect the plant against those harmful bacteria. So there are a number of beneficial microbes which fight with harmful bacteria or microbes, and they protect the plant from those bacteria and viruses, and they contribute in the growth and development of plants. So these microbes, beneficial microbes, play an important role in the growth and development of plant by both direct and indirect mechanisms, and contribute to the growth and development of plant. And once the plant is getting more nutrients, when the plant is protected against abiotic and biotic stresses. So this way plant will grow nicely and it will give better yield. So next is regulation of plant hormone by biologicals. So biologicals contribute in the growth and development of plant and also enhancing the plant's tolerance to abiotic stresses by, by the production of plant hormones. For example, production of auxin, which is important for the for stronger root growth, and this also improves water and nutrient uptake. The production of abscisic acid, which is helpful in opening and closing of stomata. The production of cytokinin and gibberellin, which is important plant hormone, which is required for the cell division, because of which there is good shoot growth and root growth under stress conditions also. So there are number of these essential plant hormones which help the plant to grow and also fight against different kind of abiotic stresses. Next is reduced ethylene. So these reduce lower ethylene level help maintain healthy root growth and especially during heat and drought stresses. So, and apart from this because of the presence of all those essential plant hormones, these biological produces these plant hormones and they are able to uh, increase the growth and tolerance of plant against stress conditions. Next is enhancing plant defense mechanisms. So these biologicals, they whenever there is any abiotic stress condition in the plant, the presence of these biologicals, they help the plant to cope up with these abiotic stresses because during the stress condition, there is excessive production of reactive oxygen species, which is which affect the growth of the plant. But in this situation, when we introduce microbes in the plant, uh, they activate the antioxidant defense system in the plant and they activate the genes which are responsible for fighting against abiotic stresses. And by producing these activating this defense system, these reduces the production of reactive oxidation species and help the plant to cope up with these abiotic stresses. So by introducing these biologicals, we can reduce the negative impact of abiotic stresses in plants. And we can protect the plant, like protect our like cell membrane, protein, and other cell structure from those stress damages. Once we introduce these beneficial biologicals in the plant or the root or the soil system, they protect the plant from these different abiotic stresses. Now, role of plant growth promoting rhizobacteria under drought stress. So we can see that the left side is the plant without plant growth promoting rhizobacteria, where we can see that there is poor growth and yield of plant because of the less water and nutrient uptake. There is lower photosynthesis process, and because of lower photosynthesis, the chlorophyll content of the plant is also reduced, which causes more stress and damage in plant, and leaves dry out early because of these stress condition. In the right side, we can see that when there is presence of plant growth promoting rhizobacteria, even in drought stress condition, the plants show higher resilience because of the presence of these beneficial microbes. The roots of the plants are more stronger roots and healthy soil contribute to the growth and development of plant. It shows less stress and damage in plant. Roots will absorb more and more nutrients and contribute for the green growth of plant. More green growth means higher photosynthesis and more chlorophyll in the plant. And these improved water and nutrient uptake gives us better growth and higher yield in plant. So there is difference between when we introduce the plant growth promoting rhizobacteria or beneficial microbes in the plant or soil. This gives better yield and better health of the plant. Now, improved soil health and microbial activity. So these building healthier soil is very important when we want to grow healthy crop and more resistant crop which can survive against different biotic and abiotic stresses. This improved soil structure promote a stable soil because because of the presence of these beneficial microbes. They increase the aggregation in soil, which increase the soil porosity and help the soil to retain more moisture in the soil so that plant root can absorb those that moisture and utilize that water for their growth and development. And the because of the presence of these microbes, the this is increasing the water holding capacity, and this soil aggregation and soil porosity is helping the soil in like more aeration in the soil so that there is more air in the soil so that it increases the water holding capacity of soil. The next one is in supporting the nutrient cycling. So these microorganisms, they contribute in nutrient cycling as they are making essential nutrients available for plants, and they are not they are not only increasing the they are not only contributing to the better soil, they are also giving or providing the essential nutrients naturally to the plant by fixing atmospheric nitrogen, by solubilizing phosphorus, potash, or making available other micronutrients. Next is promoting stronger roots and plant resilience because of the presence of because this promote the stronger root always have the ability to intake more and more nutrients and water to the plant, which helps in the healthy crop. So by contributing to these many ways, all the biologicals help the plant to grow stronger and fight against abiotic stresses. Now, role of biofertilizers for maintenance of crop productivity and soil health. As we know that in in a normal physiological condition of plants can survive uh, in the presence of sunlight. Plants can do photosynthesis, and this is important for the growth and development of plant. But there are certain biotic stresses and abiotic stresses. Biotic stresses as bacteria, fungi, viruses, and weeds, they act as a biotic stresses, and abiotic stresses as drought, temperature, metal, and salt. So these are abiotic stresses. These type of stresses cause extreme stress in plants, but the biofertilizers help the plant to survive against these stresses, because in the initial slide we were talking about the role of biologicals biofertilizer, right? So biofertilizer help the plant in two ways. First is the direct method by which they are providing essential nutrients to the plant, and the second is the indirect method where they are helping the plants to fight against biotic and abiotic stresses. So by this indirect mechanism, the plant is able to fight against those harmful biotic and abiotic stresses by producing secondary metabolite, by producing antibiotic, by producing these antibiotic and other type of lytic enzyme. They kill the harmful pathogens and protect the plant against those biotic stresses, and production of antioxidant enzymes and inducing the systemic acquired resistance. The plant protect these biologicals protect the plant against those abiotic stresses. So plants, these biofertilizers or biologicals play an important role in protecting the plant against biotic and abiotic stresses and contribute for the growth and development of plant and healthy crop. So now let's understand why are growers using biologicals. So biologicals are important as they provide improved nutrient availability and uptake. They are also helpful in balancing the soil microbiome. They improve the stress tolerance and soil health, improve water use efficiency, and increase consistency in yield and quality. So the use of these biologicals not only contribute for the growth and development of plants, but they are also reducing the reliance on synthetic fertilizers. Because synthetic fertilizer, they stimulate the plant by immediately adding the nutrients, but there are other factors as higher input costs, there are nutrient loss, reduces efficiency, and over application of these synthetic fertilizers also affect the uh, plant, soil, and our environment. So using those beneficial microbes in our soil and our plants have multiple benefits, as by introducing these beneficial microbes, we are not only enriching our soil with nutrients, we are contributing for we are making healthy plant and healthy environment, and we are getting healthy environment also. So nowadays growers are going towards biologicals because with the use of biological we can enrich our soil, we can grow healthy crop by reducing the use of synthetic fertilizers. And biologicals have multiple benefits, because they are not only contributing for the growth and development of plant, they are also contributing by inducing their resistance against different stresses. They are making healthy plant, healthy crop in a sustainable way. So now let's talk about nurture growth biofertilizer. So nurture growth biofertilizer is all-in-one biological solution which is required for healthy soil, stronger plant, and higher resilience, because it has beneficial microorganisms which are helpful in promoting vigorous growth by strengthen roots and improve overall plant growth. It also helps in enhancing nutrient and availability and uptake of plants, and it contributes in the nutrient cycling, helping. It has beneficial nitrogen fixing bacteria, phosphorus and potash solubilizing bacteria, and other microorganisms. It also provides other micronutrients to the plants. So by contributing to the natural nutrient cycling, it is helping in providing more and more nutrients to the plant. It also help in improving the soil health and water retention ability of the plants, because of the presence of number of beneficial microbes as mycorrhiza, which play an important role in making healthy soil. As we discussed in earlier slides, mycorrhiza is an important fungi which not only contributes by providing essential nutrients as phosphorus, but also play an important role in making the soil healthy and more alive. And also it is able to help the plant to fight against abiotic stresses. Because of the presence of different microbes, it helps the plant to tolerate heat, drought, and other stress conditions. And it is 100% certified organic product, which is safe for soil, plant, people, and environment. And this is all-in-one product which contains the benefits of biofertilizers, biostimulants, and bioinoculants. So you are getting all the benefits of these products in one product, because biofertilizer are the biofertilizers add beneficial microbes that fix nitrogen, or that can provide phosphorus or other nutrients to the plant, while biostimulants are the product which stimulate the growth and development of plant without adding any nutrients. They directly stimulate the system of the plant and help contribute towards the growth and development of plant. And bioinoculants, they inoculate soil with beneficial microbes, and they support the plant health by enriching the soil quality. So in nurture growth biofertilizer, you are getting all the benefits of biofertilizer, biostimulant, and bioinoculants. So that's why nowadays growers are going towards nurture growth biofertilizers, as want to go towards sustainable agriculture. Nowadays, everyone is facing this climate change issue, and to save our crop from these type of stresses, to get more yield in a sustainable way, it is a great way to go towards these biologicals. So next is how it works in your field, as these beneficial microbes are released into the soil, and they balances the soil microbiome and makes the nutrient bioavailable for the plant. So these use of this biofertilizer is making the roots more stronger, making the roots intake more and more nutrients uptake, and making the plant more stronger. So these this biofertilizer, they help to provide the natural nitrogen to the plants. This is able to provide more phosphorus and potassium to the plant, and also it is able to produce plant growth promoting hormone that helps in reducing the abiotic stress. So there are a number of benefits by which it is helping towards the growth and development of plant and also survive against number of stress conditions. So now the role of biologicals in sustainable agriculture. So biologicals are important because they help in enhancing the nutrient availability. They improve the soil fertility and soil health. They are also helpful in increasing the tolerance and stress resistance in plant against different biotic and abiotic stresses. They are helpful in reducing the reliance in synthetic inputs. So by using these biological, we can reduce the application of synthetic fertilizers. And by using these biological, we are promoting sustainable and resilient farming system and ensuring the food security for the future. So these biologicals, they also not only contributes to sustainable agriculture, they are also help the plant to cope with heat stress. For example, they protect the plant cell against, they reduce the growth of reactive oxidation species which are harmful for the plant. So they secrete certain enzymes, they secrete phytohormones which are able to cope up with, help the plant to cope up with these type of heat stresses. Also, they also helpful in increasing the water and nutrient uptake by the plant. So let's moving forward with the conclusion. Since we all know that there is a need of growing more and more as the global population is increasing, there is a need to grow more. But these climate changes in, for example, heat, drought, and other environmental stresses, making it more challenging to grow more production to in a sustainable way. So in this regard, these biologicals help the crop to tolerate stress by improving root growth, by improving the nutrient uptake process of plant. They are also helpful in water use efficiency and help the plant to induce their natural plant defense mechanisms so that they can fight against these abiotic and biotic stresses. So these biologicals, they contribute to healthy soil biology by supporting better soil structure. They increase the moisture retention of the capacity and contribute to the long-term soil health. So there are a number of research which is showing that the biologicals improve crop performance under stress condition, and it is more better when we use these biological in an integrated crop management way. And by using these biological, we can reduce the use of fertilizers and go towards sustainable agriculture by using these biologicals. So the future of agriculture lies in sustainable agriculture. And if we go towards biologicals, it's a great way. By using these biological, we can make our soil healthy, we can make our plant stronger, and we can contribute to sustainable agriculture by the use of these biologicals. So thank you so much for listening. Now it's question and answer session. You are welcome to ask any questions.
Okay, Santiago says, have you evaluated whether your product activates water stress tolerance genes?
Water stress tolerance genes, yes, biologicals are helpful in fight against these water stress tolerance genes. However, we haven't tested for our product, but there are beneficial microbes which are present in our product, which are helpful in water stress conditions. So there are a number of studies are done again for these beneficial microbes. So there are a number of beneficial microbes as Bacillus subtilis, mycorrhiza. So those important microbes are present in our product. That's why we are saying that use of these biologicals are helpful in activating the plant stress tolerance system or activating the plant immune system, like that. It's not like they we have tested our product for particularly this thing, but these essential beneficial microbes are present in our product, which are known to which are known for this thing.
Atish said, is there any evidence of the use of biochar with biologicals to enhance their impact during drought and other stress conditions? Is there integration something that you have considered? We actually have been experimenting with biochar with this one particular product, and we're looking at other products as well, but we're finding that it's not practical for farmers. So the one product that we have that was sent to us from a company, uh, we had to mix it with water to
Mhm.
activate it, right? And this is a big inconvenience for farmers because they would need a large amount of water. Then the biochar needs to activate. I think it was over a day, right, Ankita, or a few
Yeah,
hours?
it's more than 24 hours. Yes.
Yeah, more than 24
Minimum
hours. So
24 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
So first of all, you have to find something to hold it. Then you have to wait, right? And farmers just don't have that time. So we're finding that the practicality of it doesn't seem to work with farmers. Now, there are farmers that are using it, which is great, and we're trying to find, products that are easy for farmers to use. So just for myself, I'm experimenting it on uh, our house plants and at home and in our in-house green experiments, and we're finding that it's a lot of trouble to mix it, and then it gets dirty, and then you have to wait. So we haven't had a lot of success with biochar, but that's not to say that biochar doesn't work. We just have to find something that works for us. So if it was difficult for us to use it, it'll be much more difficult for farmers to use it. So we have to find an easier product. And then now you can continue the second part.
So for biochar, integration of biochar with biological, there are a number of studies. There are so many studies which shows the evidence that biochar are there are good results of biochar when integrated with biologicals for the growth and development of plant or against stress conditions. But yeah, as Lee was mentioned, that we just started doing this thing, and we found that it is not that practical, because whatever we are doing in the laboratory or we are trying, we want it to be practical so that farmers can use it, right? So we are still working on that, and we are waiting like how it will be.
What is your experience, such as technology's effectiveness under research level as compared to large scale commercial value? What are the factors that disfavor the technology? I can answer this as well.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And let
Sure.
me
Go ahead.
let me start
Go
this.
ahead. Yeah.
Just having 11 years of working with field trials, and what we're finding at the research level is that it's such a small area that you're doing a comparison, and it doesn't really represent real world conditions, right? So in the farming industry, it says you should be spraying, X number of days, every 7 to, 14 days. However, the practicality is if there's rain and the fields are muddy, you can't get your tractors in there, right? So when we're applying it at a much larger scale trial, we also have different soil types. Even within one field, there's different soil types, and then there's areas of slope. So I think that in different applications, in different methodologies, whether it's research level or scale, I think that you really need to do both to test the effectiveness. Because when you're doing it in such a small scale, and we've done this in our greenhouse, is we see great, results, right? In some things, and then other things you don't see great results. And that's why we always have to do full replication. So this way we're eliminating the chance of a fluke. But when you do a much larger scale, then you're able to account the different soil types. You're able to account for the intricacies of what Mother Nature has, in the natural soil or in the landscape area.
Yeah, yeah, right, true. Because when we are doing any experiment in the small level in the greenhouse, we always try to make all the conditions optimum for the growth and development of plant, right? But when we are growing outside in the field area, so there, for example, right now we are discussing like there is too much rainfall. So there are different conditions in the small level in the greenhouse and in the field conditions. So it's always better to test these things in the field level for like accurate results so that in a practical way so that farmers can utilize those things.
Learn more about nurture growth and how it responds, we're having a better understanding of how it helps with heat stress. And what I've seen personally, in doing the trials with the farmers is that they definitely have better root health, right? So there's lots of primary and secondary hair roots. What we're also seeing is uh, better soil. So the soil is darker, right? And it doesn't crumble. So that is a good indication that our biologicals can help with moisture retention because especially during extreme heat, the water evaporates a lot faster. And this is where our product is helping with increasing soil health and root hairs that is able to retain the moisture, right, within the plant ecosystem. We need to end this webinar as it's 11 o'clock, and we just want to thank everyone for joining us today. We hope that you learned some valuable insights, and please join us for the upcoming webinar, which is on August the 28th, right? Okay. And you will receive a recording of this either today or tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will chat with you soon.